You've joined us on a breezy day here at KYALAMI 2016-36 pits, as we're getting ready to get things underway.
The calm before the storm. I don't know about you, Alan, but I'm expecting some hard-fought on-track battles today.
Joni Geldenhuys will begin the race from the second spot on the starting grid. The third position is occupied by Blake Hurley.
But they're going to have to be quick out of the blocks if they want to keep up with the top performers.
Starting just behind the front runners in fourth place is the determined driver, Mark Guy. Taking off from the fifth grid slot is the skilled driver, JP. The lights are out and it's go time.
Staying out of trouble in these early moments is crucial. It's a fine line between pushing hard and staying safe.
There's some intense battling throughout the field as everyone is feeling out the drivers around them.
The race isn't won in the first turn, but there have been plenty that have ended their rally.
Ernest Heather is tearing up the track, making up positions like they're going out of style. Every lap is an opportunity for JP Brand to learn just a little bit more to shave a few tenths or hundredths off their times.
What a beautiful day for racing here at KYALAMI 2016 36 pits. This is going to be good to watch.
The tensions are high, and no one will want to make a crucial mistake on the first lap. Ernest Heather has got off to a great early start, already gaining places. Gotta be pleased with that start, Max, all things considered.
I haven't seen a start this impressive since the days of my racing career. If Ernest Heather can maintain this level of focus, we're in for a thrilling race.
It's a steady race for Christo Mainches so far. They haven't made any mistakes, and they are maintaining their focus. I'm curious, Max, can you tell us about any pre-race rituals you had when you were racing?
Of course, Alan. Before every race, I would listen to a specific playlist of songs to help me get in the zone. I also had a lucky pair of socks that I would wear during races.
The lights are out and it's go time.
Staying out of trouble in these early moments is crucial. It's a fine line between pushing hard and staying safe.
This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Jamie Ray Nichols is chasing Joni Geldenhuys in P1.
We'll have to wait to see if Jamie Ray Nichols can use the draft to their advantage, or if the lack of downforce will hinder their progress.
It looks like John Visser is in control. They're ahead of Christo Mainches by over a second, and it doesn't look like they're going to be challenged anytime soon. The tension is building as Christo Mainches trails behind John Visser. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. John Visser is pushing to maintain the lead, while Christo Mainches is working to close in and challenge for the position. The battle for 9 is heating up as Bradley Taylor tries to catch Christo Mainches in P9. Impressive stuff from Christo Mainches, who has managed to pull away from Bradley Taylor, leaving them in choking in their exhaust fumes. It's true what they say, Max, you're never completely useless.
Indeed, Alan, you can always be used as a bad example. They've been focusing so hard on maintaining their position, and now they've slipped back in the field. Meanwhile, Bradley Taylor has been making some great moves and is now on the charge.
Things are heating up as Kenneth Ella closes in on Armand Geldenhuys. The gap between them is down to practically nothing.
As a former driver, I can tell you there's nothing quite like the adrenaline rush when you're this close to your rival, ready to make your move.
Things are heating up as Warren Dodd tries to close the gap to Marc Dutoit. Oh, this is getting intense. Tony Baird is just a few car lengths behind Ennis 2.
The racing is getting tight between Tony Baird and Enus 2 as they battle for P19. No doubt, both drivers know that one mistake could cost them the position. It's a test of nerves as much as skill.
This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Peter Geldenhuys will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops. The adrenaline is pumping as Bradley Taylor gets within striking distance of John Visser in their race for 8th. And Bradley Taylor has just won the place from John Visser. You know, Max, during a long race like this, how easy is it for a driver to experience a lapse in concentration?
It can be quite easy, Alan. With so many factors to consider and the intense focus required, even the most experienced drivers can have a momentary lapse.
Braking alert. That won't be ideal for Amir Rylance. It looks like Peter Geldenhuys is pushing hard to catch up to Tyler Scott, 132. That's not a small gap, but Peter Geldenhuys has what it takes to challenge for the position. What a move. Peter Geldenhuys has moved up to 6th. The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this. Superb driving from Tyler Scott, 132, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race.
You can't argue with results like that. Tyler Scott, 132, is really making their mark on this race.
Braking alert. That won't be ideal for Amir Rylance. The pressure is on for Kenneth Ella as they try to catch up to Neuen Cupido.
It's a game of strategy now as Kenneth Ella hunts down Neuen Cupido. Yes, it's all about choosing the right moments to push and when to conserve energy, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
It's an intense battle for position as Neuen Cupido tries to outmaneuver Kenneth Ella. This is edge of your seat racing. It's looking good for Neuen Cupido, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and Kenneth Ella. It's a game of inches now as Warren Dodd tails Neuen Cupido closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake.
Should things go south between Warren Dodd and Neuen Cupido, we might witness a high-speed game of bumper cars, but trust me, it's way less fun with real race cars.
It's a battle out there, each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other. A great moment for Marc Dutoit, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. It's a brilliant day for racing, and the drivers are putting on a show.
Absolutely. What a great race we are witnessing today. These drivers are giving it their all, and it's a thrill to watch them compete at this level.
They're really pushing themselves and their machines to the limit, and it's paying off with some incredible driving.
It's a pleasure to be here today, Alan. You really can't beat the excitement of a good race, especially one as competitive as this.
The race is really heating up. Armand Geldenhuys is hunting down Kenneth Ella with everything they've got.
I would not be surprised if they get this pass completed soon.
Looks like Amir Rylance is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curves aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about maintaining that fine line between speed and control. It's all about finding the perfect opportunity. Amir Rylands needs to stay patient and wait for Armand Geldenhuys to make a mistake.
They're giving it everything they've got. It's a battle of nerves as they push the limits of adhesion, going wheel to wheel in a thrilling display of racing prowess.
Couldn't agree more, Alan. This wheel-to-wheel racing is what fans live for. The determination and tenacity shown by these drivers to gain even the smallest advantage is simply awe-inspiring.
The action is heating up here as Kenneth Ella is in 16th, defending from Amir Rylands, who is only 0.3 seconds away.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Amir Rylands to make up that gap, especially with Kenneth Ella defending so well.
It's all about consistency for Amir Rylands, who is currently 17th. Fantastic move from Amir Rylands, who has just gained a position. The pursuit is on. Wyan Nod is closing the gap on NS2, determined to claim P20. Every move counts now as Armand Geldenhuys works to reel in Noen Cupido and overtake for P14. Look at that, Kenneth Ella is hot on the tail of Amir Rylands.
The gap between them is now just over 0.4 seconds.
No room for error here. Bradley Taylor is breathing down the neck of Kenneth Ella, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move.
I remember being in a similar situation during my racing days. Bradley Taylor must stay focused and wait for the perfect opportunity to overtake.
Seems like Kenneth Ella is getting in range of Bradley Taylor. Noen Cupido is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a razor's edge between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely, it's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play. That driver is really pushing the limits. They're riding the curbs and pushing the car to its limits.
It's a close race between Amir Rylands and Noen Cupido in 14th. Great driving from Amir Rylands, who has just gained a place and moved up to 14th. Heartbreak for Noen Cupido as they slip down the field.
Yes, but they can't give up. There's still plenty of time left in this race, and Noen Cupido needs to stay focused and keep pushing.
What a move! Noen Cupido has moved up to 15.
Impressive. Noen Cupido is really showing their skill and determination out there.
Bradley Taylor is giving it their all as they chase down Armand Geldenhuys in P16. Kenneth Ella is running 18th. They are trying to catch Bradley Taylor.
Don't forget the role of aerodynamics. Kenneth Ella should use slipstreaming to their advantage and close the gap to Bradley Taylor.
Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed. The battle for 15 is heating up as Armand Geldenhuys tries to catch Noen Cupido in P15.
Sometimes you have to take risks to win, but pushing the car too hard can be a costly mistake. Armand Geldenhuys needs to be careful not to overdo it.
This is a thrilling battle as Kenneth Ella edges closer to Armand Geldenhuys in their fight for P17.
The gap is 0.3 seconds now. Kenneth Ella is going to have to work a bit harder to close that gap with Armand Geldenhuys.
Oh, this is getting intense. Tony Baird is just a few car lengths behind Kenneth Ella. This is what it's all about, folks. NS2 is in hot pursuit of Bradley Taylor, who's just trying to stay ahead.
As an experienced driver, I can tell you that NS2 must be laser focused on Bradley Taylor's every move, looking for the slightest weakness to exploit.
Bradley Taylor is looking for an opportunity to get round NS2. Disappointing for Armand Geldenhuys, they now find themselves in 17th. A brilliant maneuver from Armand Geldenhuys, who has just moved up the field.
Absolutely. Armand Geldenhuys is really putting on a clinic out there, and they're making it look easy.
Kenneth Ella is holding 17th, but Tony Baird is right on their tail. Things are heating up as Joni Geldenhuys tries to close the gap to Jamie Ray Nichols. Looks like Mark Guy is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curbs aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about maintaining that fine line between speed and control. It's a fine line between pushing the car to its limits and losing control. Mark Guy is really walking that fine line.
Wow, Neuen Cupido is really pushing hard to catch up to Armand Geldenhuys. There's blood in the water for 15th place. A great moment for Neuen Cupido, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. The pursuit is on. Joni Geldenhuys is closing the gap on Jamie Ray Nichols, determined to claim P1.
The gap between them is just over 0.4 seconds, which can feel like miles if you're trailing and not catching up.
It's a battle of wills out there, with Armand Geldenhuys trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Neuen Cupido. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Situations like these often lead to a dramatic finish.
It's a nail-biting race for sure, with both drivers showing incredible skill and determination. But Neuen Cupido is not going to give up the position easily. This is going to be a battle to the very end, with Armand Geldenhuys in P.
Breaking update. I don't think that's the fastest way around KYALAMI 2016-36 pits. The race is really heating up. Joni Geldenhuys is hunting down Jamie Ray Nichols with everything they've got. The crowd is on their feet, roaring with excitement. It's an all-out war between these three drivers. I can only hope the netcode keeps up with their fearlessness.
You're absolutely right, Alan. The level of respect these drivers have for each other while pushing their limits is commendable.
Breaking update. I don't think that's the fastest way around KYALAMI 2016-36 pits. The pressure is on for Joni Geldenhuys as they try to catch up to Jamie Ray Nichols. Mark Dutoit is on a mission, chasing Clayton Ella, who's desperately trying to stay ahead.
This is where every inch counts. Mark Dutoit is pushing hard to close the gap on.
Hold on a second. Looks like that's a mistake from Wyan Nod. This could be costly. This is where the race gets really interesting. Joni Geldenhuys is closing in on Jamie Ray Nichols. they speed through the kink, Mark Guy is relentlessly pursuing Peter Geldenhuys in a high-stakes battle for position. Superb driving from Mark Guy, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race.
Amazing stuff. Focus and precision, what it's all about.
A setback for Mark Guy, who has just been passed.
That's got to be frustrating. But Mark Guy is a skilled driver, and they have what it takes to battle their way back up the field.
The action is non-stop as Neuen Cupido shadows Bradley Taylor through every twist and turn, determined to claim 15.
If Neuen Cupido isn't careful, they might end up turning this high-speed chase into a synchronized spinning routine, and trust me, that's not a crowd pleaser.
NS2 wants to find a way round Kenneth Ella.
To achieve anything in this game, you must be prepared to dabble at the boundary of disaster.
An impressive showing from NS2, who has gained positions and left Kenneth Ella in the dust. Every move counts now as Joni Geldenhuys works to reel in Jamie Ray Nichols and overtake for P1. Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed.
The gap between them is just over 0.3 seconds. Can Mark Guy close that gap and get back in range? I can't see it happening at this point.
Mark Dutoit is running 13th. They are trying to catch Clayton Ella.
With just zero.
Hold on a second. Looks like that's a mistake from Wyan Nod. This could be costly. The battle for one is heating up as Joni Geldenhuys tries to catch Jamie Ray Nichols in P1. Oh, this is getting intense. Peter Geldenhuys is just a few car lengths behind Mark Guy. Rising to the occasion and claiming victory would help to cement this driver's legendary status. Big gains for Mark Dutoit as they move up the field, leaving Clayton Ella behind.
Yes, but Mark Dutoit can't rest on their laurels. They have to keep pushing to consolidate their position.
Tough break for Mark Dutoit, who has just lost a position. Look at that, Kenneth Ella is hot on the tail of NS2.
We'll have to wait to see if Kenneth Ella can use the draft to their advantage, or if the lack of downforce will hinder their progress.
Peter Geldenhuys is giving it their all as they chase down Mark Guy in P7. Clayton Ella is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a razor's edge between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely, it's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play. This is not going to be an easy pass to make.
It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce.
And the drivers know it too, Alan. They're giving it everything they've got, and you can see them pushing the limits of the car's capabilities.
Looks like NS2 is coming in hot. They're approaching that turn way too fast. Hold on a second. I don't think that's the fastest way around KYALAMI 2016-36 pits. The gap between Mark Guy and Peter Geldenhuys is pretty substantial right now. It's probably going to take a mistake from Mark Guy to even allow Peter Geldenhuys to get a look in.
They certainly aren't going to be close enough to mount any kind of challenge soon unless it's down to a mistake from Mark Guy.
This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Mark Dutoit is chasing Amir Rylands in P12.
It's a game of strategy now as Mark Dutoit hunts down Amir Rylands. Yes, it's all about choosing the right moments to push and when to conserve energy, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
The race is really heating up. Armand Geldenhuys is hunting down Tony Baird with everything they've got.
Armand Geldenhuys is looking to close the 0.4 second gap and make a pass.
Tyler Scott 132 has the pedal to the metal chasing Mark Guy.
It looks like they have the speed to make a move. I just hope they have the patience to do it cleanly.
This is a thrilling battle as Armand Geldenhuys edges closer to Tony Baird in their fight for P17.
The racing is getting tight between Armand Geldenhuys and Tony Baird as they battle for P17. No doubt, both drivers know that one mistake could cost them the position. It's a test of nerves as much as skill.
The pressure is on for Tyler Scott 132 as they try to catch up to Mark Guy. The crowd is on the edge of their seats as Bradley Taylor in 15th chases after Clayton Ella. The delta is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Bradley Taylor needs to find a way to close the gap. The pursuit is on. Tony Baird is closing the gap on Neuen Cupido, determined to claim P16. Armand Geldenhuys is on a mission, chasing Hold on a second. I don't think that's the fastest way around KYALAMI 2016-36 pits. Tony Baird is placed 17th at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Armand Geldenhuys, who is 0.3 seconds behind.
Surely they've got enough in the tank to pull away. Gonna be interesting to watch this battle unfold.
Things are heating up as Armand Geldenhuys tries to close the gap to Tony Baird. It seems like Tony Baird is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace.
Tony Baird needs to refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they're capable of.
You know, Max, I've always wondered, how do racing drivers stay so cool and collected under such immense pressure?
Well, Alan, it comes down to mental strength and training. Drivers often work with sports psychologists and practice techniques like meditation and visualization to help them stay calm and focused during high-pressure situations.
This is what high-octane racing looks like. Tony Baird is breathing down the neck of Neuen Cupido, not giving them any room to relax.
At this rate, Tony Baird and Neuen Cupido are so close, they could share a cup of tea and a biscuit.
This is where the race gets really interesting. Neuen Cupido is closing in on Tony Baird.
The mental game is just as important here. Neuen Cupido must keep their cool while putting pressure on Tony Baird.
Oh dear, Neuen Cupido has dropped down to 18th. Great driving from Neuen Cupido, who has just gained a place and moved up to 17th.
That's what we like to see. Neuen Cupido is really showing their class today.
Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed.
That driver is really pushing the limits. They're riding the curbs and pushing the car to its limits.
The The delta between John Visser in 11th and Warren Dodd remains over a second, but John Visser is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap. There's 0 minutes left in this session to make that happen. The battle for 17 is heating up as Armand Geldenhuys tries to catch Noah Cupido in P17.
Armand Geldenhuys needs to focus if they want to make a move and pass Nguyen Cupido.
A tough moment for Armand Geldenhuys, who has just lost a place, dumping them down to 19th.
Yes, but there's still plenty of race left. Armand Geldenhuys needs to stay calm and focused, and make their move when the time is right.
This is where and that, folks, is how it's done. A solid performance and great win from Jamie Ray Nichols.
You could feel the tension building throughout the race, but Jamie Ray Nichols remained focused and in control. That's what separates the winners from the pack.
What a fantastic race from Joni Geldenhuys, who brings it home in second place. That was an outstanding performance from JP Brand. They fought hard and took the final spot on the podium.
Great job bringing it home.
4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th sees Wayne Midden, Ernest Heather, Mark Guy, and Tyler Scott 132. Followed by Peter Geldenhuys, Christo Meintjes, Warren Dodd, and John Visser in 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. Taking 12th is Mark Du Toit. Amir Rylands claimed 13th. Finishing 14th is Bradley Taylor. Coming in 15th, we have Clayton Ella. Tony Baird brings home 16th. Nguyen Cupido, Ennis 2, Armand Geldenhuys, and Kenneth Ella end in 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. 21st is Blake Hurley. Martin Menkes take 22nd.